fully opened your eyes before the second cup. Hair tousled, voice low, blanket still wrapped around one shoulder. You'd mumble to questions you didn't hear, and somehow it was still the sweetest part of every morning. I loved you most when you were halfway between dream and day. The world was quiet and so were we, but your warmth spoke louder than words. Always half asleep, but still reaching for me. Eyes closed, but your hand never missed mine. In those slow golden minutes you gave me the softest kind of forever. I'd make breakfast with one sock on. You'd sit nearby on the floor with your head against the wall, still waking up but smiling at nothing and everything. You never remembered those mornings, but I did every one of them. Love doesn't need grand beginnings. Sometimes it just needs a sleepy night. Always half asleep, but always home to me. You whispered my name like it was a secret. Even your dreams knew when I answered, with coffee and a kiss on the forehead. Some love only wakes just enough to stay. Always half asleep, but never far. Even now when the mornings are mine alone, I still pour 2 cups just in case your sleep finds its way back to me.
I found a note between the pages of a book we read together one cold Sunday. It was creased, barely legible, your handwriting smudged like it had rained even before I opened it. You never meant to leave it there, but somehow you did. And now I'm rereading the parts we never finished. You underlined a sentence about things we never say, and I wonder, was that your way of telling me everything without saying it? Folded pages and rain, all the things we left behind. Love between the lines, dripping quietly in lowercase. If I open that book again, will your silence still be warm, or just paper too soft to hold what we once were? I keep the book by the window. Sometimes it curls a little more. Each time it rains, like it's still reacting to something you said long ago. They say books remember things, maybe that's why it still feels like your voice is somewhere in the spine. I never mocked the ending, maybe there wasn't one. Just space, just pause, just stare between the words. Folded pages and rain and a tea stain near your name. You circled hope once but never explained. I don't need the whole story, just the part you meant for me to find. Love has pages, some of them stay wet forever. Folded pages and rain, the kind we can't rewrite. I let it fall open to your favorite line. Maybe love is quiet. I think I finally understand. I reached into my coat today and pulled out a ticket stub, folded once. Your handwriting still on the back. Don't forget this night. I hadn't, but I smiled anyway, as if that scrap of paper had somehow remembered better than I had. You always left little pieces of you tucked away, like secrets meant to be found on quiet afternoons. Even when you weren't near, you stayed close, in the corners of my pockets, in the threads of things I wore. Pockets filled with you, with things I couldn't throw away. A button from your sweater, a gum wrapper with a heart. No diamond, no grand confession, just paper, cloth, and memory. Once I found a seashell from that weekend by the coast. You slipped it in while I wasn't looking, your version of a love note. Now every time I reach for change or keys, I end up with something that sounds like your laugh or smells like June. Maybe that's how love works, not loud, not always present, but held in the line of what we carry. Pockets filled with you, and all the quiet ways you stayed. A scribble, a scent, a warmth in worn out threads. No letter sent, but stories sewn into every scene. Love lives in hidden places. Pockets filled with you, long after you were gone, still finding you in the simplest folds. Proof that love, when gently placed, never really leaves. You always forgot your umbrella, so I packed 2 raincoats, one yellow, one gray. said it made me look like I planned too far ahead. I said it made you look like sunshine in a storm. We never checked the forecast, but I knew the sky by your sides, by how you looked at windows clouding over. It wasn't about the rain, it was about being ready for your quiet forgetfulness. Raincoats just in case, not for the weather, but for the love that shows up early and waits at the door. Even if skies stay blue, I'd still carry what keeps you dry. One time it didn't rain, you laughed and wore it anyway, said it felt like a hug. We walked like puddles didn't matter, we walked like we didn't need anywhere to be. Your hood kept sliding off, I fixed it like I always did, and you let me. Some people say love is grand, but I think it's small and practical. Raincoats just in case, for mornings that start gray, and hearts that need shelter, for hands too shy to reach, but still staying close. I brought them for you, not for the clouds. Some people bring flowers, I brought a raincoat. Raincoats just in case, I promise folded in nylon. Even if it never rains again, I'll carry one for you, because love to me means thinking of you before the sky even changes. You never said I'm home, but I knew two pairs of shoes by the door said more than words could. One said small and tight, the other slightly worn. I'd line them straight like we were learning to walk side by side without planning it. There were days you got back late, rain on your soles, still warm in the space next to mine. Love wasn't in the big moments, it was in the quiet clad of you untying laces in the dark. Shoes beside your steps, proof that you returned. Even when no promises were made, you still chose this floor, this room, this silence. I never asked you to, but you did. shoes would still be there, and so would the calm. Even after an argument, they stayed lined up, not touching but still facing forward. I think that's how we were, not perfect, but still walking in the same direction. You never said I'll stay, but you left your shoes in the same place every time. Shoes beside your steps, always close, never loud. Our story told in rubber soles and quiet patterns across the floor. And every night you didn't say much, but you stayed. Some things don't need words to be promises. Shoes beside your steps, I still see them now and then. They make me believe in the kind of love that just shows up.
There was that morning you made coffee with my playlist playing low. I watched the sunlight hit your shoulder, and I thought, this is it, this is art. But I didn't reach for the camera, I just watched, afraid the lens might flatten what I felt. Your hair was messy, your socks mismatched, and I never wanted anything more perfect. Some memories live best in motion, not in a frozen frame. Things we never framed, like your laugh on the subway, or how you looked at me after we missed our stop. The quiet in the museum, the rain in the diner, your hand reaching for mine just before the light changed. We had pictures, sure blurry ones, but the best moments never asked to be kept. They were the in-betweens, the waiting room jokes, the way you hummed while doing dishes. I never printed them, but I carried them in the spaces between heartbeats. I don't need a wall of us
always walked the same side of the street, not because we had to, but because it felt right. Our shadows knew the timing, how the light would hit your face. Just before the bookstore, how your laugh echoed off the brick wall where ivy climbs each May. We passed a dog that barked at strangers, but never at us, like even he knew we belonged there. I think the sidewalk remembers the rhythm of your step. I do too. This street holds us like pages pressed between glass. The crosswalk counts our stories, the lampposts our cares. No flag, no sign, but it's ours in every quiet turn and crack in the concrete. The coffee shop changed names, the mural got repainted, but there's still that corner you used to pause at just to fix your scarf. I passed by today, the breeze carried something familiar, not your perfume, but the stillness you always left behind. It's not the same street, but it is because of us. This street holds us in ways people don't see. 1,000 ordinary steps became something holy. The bakery, the window, your reflection beside mine, they all remember what we tried to forget. Even asphalt can ache when no one walks it the same. This street holds us even when we walk it alone. It leads nowhere new, but it carries everything, your voice on stone. My breath in the dust, a map of love in concrete silence. There was a hill where we used to sit, watching leaves chase each other in the air. You You said the wind was nosy, it always tried to listen when we whispered secrets. So we talked with our eyes instead, said everything without speaking. I think the wind liked us, it stayed longer whenever we were near. You once joked it carried our names past the trees and into tomorrow. The wind knows our names, even if no one else does. It remembers our laughter tangled in tall grass. It knows how I touched your hand, how you leaned in but didn't kiss me. Not yet, not then. Sometimes I walk alone past that same hill. The grass is taller now, the wind still nosy. It brushes my shoulder like it's asking where you are. I don't answer, but I think it knows, because it always feels a little colder without your warmth beside me. Maybe it's silly to think the wind cares, but then again, so is falling in love. The wind knows our names, spelled in pollen and dust. It hums a tune we once made up just for fun. And even if the world forgets, this breeze still speaks of you like it always will. The wind knows our names and carries them gently at dusk. No address, no letters, just hushes of something true. You and I, a language made of air, still moving, still soft, still real. You opened the fridge and said we were out of milk, but I think you meant something else. I nodded too quiet to ask, we moved like people acting in a scene we didn't audition for. You put on your shoes, I tied mine slow, hoping you'd notice, hoping you'd stay just 5 seconds more than you needed to. The room was filled with things we didn't say, like the way you looked at your keys instead of me. Words we never said float in this house like echoes. They live in the cups we don't use, in the shirts you left behind. No one shouted, no one cried, but the silence was loud enough to know we both heard it. You asked if I wanted anything from the store. I almost said, don't go, but I said no, I'm fine, because some sentences are too fragile to survive the air. Now I write them on old receipts and let them hide inside the drawer next to your lighter. There's a version kept just below the tongue. Words we never said burned soft in the back of my mind. The I miss you never whispered the please stay. Never asked all the could have been tucked into an unfinished conversation.
Hey, never mind. Call me if you want.
Words we never said still bloom inside me quietly. Maybe you hear them in dreams or in songs you skip too fast. But I know they lived even if we never let them out.
It's silly, I know, but I noticed right away the mug you always use with a tiny chip on the handle wasn't on the shelf this morning. I stared at the spot where it always sat between mine and the teacup you never used, but like the color of the kitchen felt colder, quieter, like it missed your hands too. Some absences are small, but they echo. Your mug is missing, and so are the little arms you used to sing while stirring sugar. No note, no goodbye, just a cupboard, one space, emptier in a heart that noticed. I check the sink, the dishwasher, even the windowsill where you sometimes left things to dry. But it's gone, and maybe it's just a cup, but it held every morning you were here. Coffee doesn't taste the same without your hands wrapped around something warm. It's not